Hello everyone, it's Pink Fluffy Sylvian here, and I am going to be doing something a little bit different. I am going to be talking about a new documentary. I don't know how new it is, but it's relatively new to me. It's on Netflix right now, and it's called Diana, 7 Days That Shook the World, and it's talking about the death of Princess Diana, and just how that impacted a whole bunch of people, and a lot about how stuff was arranged whenever she died. And when I was younger, I was really young. I was like 8 years old whenever this event took place, and my mom explained to me, because my mother always talked to me like an adult, and she explained to me like what happened and who Princess Diana was, and so I knew that she had died. I did not know until I got older all the things that she did, and one of the reasons that I decided to do this into a review kind of thing is because of my mom. My mother, I watched this movie first by myself, and my mother came to visit, and I do not have cable, so Netflix is my main form of entertainment. Netflix and YouTube, but Netflix, when she comes over and we watch Netflix, and she knows about my YouTube channel. I don't think she's seen it. I don't think she's seen it, but she knows that I am on YouTube. And she said, do you do things like this? I go, no, mainly books, but I'm like, why don't I do things like this? And so I decided to do this as a live stream. And so, yay, we're going to talk about this documentary. Now, what I really liked how they had people that were actually a part of the stuff that was going on, and there's just so much in this documentary that is really good. People talked about their experience, and people that knew her, and they were just shocked by her death, because I think her chauffeur was talking, and he was getting ready to actually, like, not in a few maybe hours, he was like, I was getting ready to go pick her back up and take her home, and she and then he found out that she was dead. And I didn't realize all of the planning, because they did not have the I can't think of the word. They just didn't know what to do with her death, because that was never ever planned. She died instantly in Paris, pretty much. So they had to figure this stuff out in 7 days. All this stuff, they had to figure it out in 7 days, which is, I think it was amazing. And my mother, she said that she watched it, because obviously we don't live in the UK, so my mom watched it she watched it when it was on television. I think it was really either late at night or early in the morning for us. So she probably watched like a rerun of it, but she did watch it on television. So I just thought that was really interesting, that I was like, was it broadcast on TV? And she's like, yeah, for us, yeah, it was broadcast on, for us as well on TV. So my mom watched a little bit of it when it happened. And I think, I'm not sure if she still has it, but she had a, she has like a little collection of newspaper articles, and that was one of the newspaper articles that she had, was the newspaper article about the death of Princess Diana. So I just thought that was really, really interesting. I remember going through her stuff. I think we were cleaning stuff out, and she had that in her, in her collection, I should say. Yeah, I really enjoyed this documentary. They showed real footage, and the only time I ever saw some real footage was, I watched that movie, The Queen, with Helen Mirren, and so some of the stuff that I saw, I thought some of it was, Hollywood portrayal, but some of that was real footage. But I didn't see a lot of the other real footage that was seen in the documentary, so that was really interesting. I think someone wants to join me on my streaming. Yeah, so I just found that really, really interesting. And just the grief that people were experiencing was just, people were just flabbergasted at the grief that was pouring out from the people of the United Kingdom and London. People were coming miles and getting on trains and just to be at that event, which I found really, really, I didn't realize. I saw the flowers. I saw it in the movie. I saw all the flowers, and I thought that was just Hollywood. I didn't realize how many people just poured into London and just set flowers everywhere, and just amazing. And it even talked about the Queen and how she did not appear until, people were just disgusted, because I only saw it through the Queen's point of view, because again, I watched the movie, but I didn't realize just the anger and the newspapers articles coming out against her and things like that. And she had she did write a speech and come out for the people. I think she was pressured to, because she hadn't, if I'm wrong, please correct me, but she hadn't, someone's live streaming. Someone's commenting. I couldn't see it. Thank you, whoever's commenting. She hadn't had a live broadcast for like 50 years, and she came out live on television because she was kind of pressured to. I believe it was 50 years, and I was just amazed by that. I didn't realize that that was a thing until, you know, until I saw that, you know, until I saw that documentary. My mom was even surprised at that. She was like, wow, like, that was her first her second TV broadcast, her first TV broadcast in like 50 years. And another thing they went into was they were so shocked that I can't read the chat long enough, guys. They were shocked that people, like, you know, the boys and the royal family were going, you know, it was just a typical day as usual, only that the boys had been told that their mother had died, and people were just so crazy that, you know, they're going to church like nothing has happened. And so that kind of took a, you know, that to me was very crazy. Just, and to the people at the time, I'm sure was just, you know, and you hear just, it was just like crazy, like, it is kind of tragic. And what else did they talk about? They talked about just, and I remember watching part of it, and this person that was like, that was helping plan this funeral in a week, pretty much. They had to plan a funeral in a week, this big funeral in a week, and she was just amazed at the grief, this just pouring out of grief from people. And she was like, this is just craziness, like, and even I didn't understand. I was like, wow, like, this is crazy. I don't get it, you know? Like, you know, it's sad that she died. It's tragic that she died instantly in Paris. I'm not saying that that's not tragic, but that's very tragic. That's like in a blink of an eye. But I just couldn't understand the pouring out of grief from people that she didn't even know. Mom's like, well, I think they felt like they knew her, and she did good for people. She did awareness for things that were probably a more of a no-no at the time, such as AIDS relief and things of that nature. And she really did good for people, and I think that that's what people resonated with. I really think that that's what people resonated with, is that, you know, she did a lot of charities that the royal family didn't really do, if that makes sense. Like AIDS relief, and I can't think of any other. AIDS relief is the one that really stood out to me, that I really remember. I should know all this because I read a lot about the royal family, so I should get into that. Oh, another thing they said in the documentary is they talked about there was like a power surge from like electric kettles and televisions all going on at the same time. Like, I was like, what? Holy crap! Just because people were, that was like big news, obviously, and people want to know what's going on, and they had their cup of tea, and tea is where it's at. Like, people here like coffee, tea is where it's at. Okay, anyway, that's, so they all, you know, they all, who's ever in the chat, thank you so much for watching today. But it says no one's watching, but apparently I just got a thing in the chat and it said that someone is watching and chatting. So thank you so much for watching and chatting. And, yeah, so, yeah, anyway, tea is where it's at. And, yeah, tea is where it's at. And, yeah, I couldn't believe that there was like a freaking power surge. That was really difficult for me to believe. But I could see why, but I was just, that was one of the craziness, things. And I'm really sorry who's ever like chatting. I can't read the chat. I can tell it's coming up. I have a visual impairment, so I can't read the chat. Like, I can't say what you're saying, but I know that it's coming up in a chat. So if I don't call you out by name, I'm really sorry, because sometimes I can't get it fast enough and then it fades out and goes away. So I'm really sorry about that. Yeah, I just couldn't believe all of the, you know, just, it was just having to plan all that in about, you know, less than a week was just amazing, I think. And I think they did a very good job. They all practiced and it all went, you know, it was really good until you got to the brother. It was all nice. And then crud hit the fan. Crud hit the fan and he basically trash talked the royal family, which I heard that speech, and again, I only heard it from the movie until I saw this documentary, and I thought it was just Hollywood, and then I heard the speech in the documentary and I was like, oh my gosh. And he basically said, that the queen pretty much killed her, or, you know, wasn't, you know, just basically badmouthed the queen in front of her and just a bunch of people, and then he and I was just flabbergasted that someone would say that, you know, at that particular time. That was supposed to be a time of grief, and he used it to badmouth the royal family. And my mother was even like, that was not appropriate. And someone they were talking in the interview, and they said, I don't think someone read that over. I think he just wrote it and was like, this is fine, we're gonna read this. Who cares what anyone thinks? And I think that's what happened. I don't think it was like updated, if that makes sense. Let me see. I think someone wants to join the live stream. I'm gonna see if he wants to join me for the live stream. 'Cause yeah, someone said that they didn't think that he had someone check it over. I just think he was like, this is fine, we can just do this. So, wait, someone keeps chatting and I can't. Yeah, which I think was really crazy that he said that. It was really disrespectful, and it was crazy that people clapped after that speech. They talked about people outside were clapping, and they said they didn't realize it was clapping, or they thought it sounded like pebbles being thrown on the roof of the Abbey. And some people were just mortified that people were clapping for Earl Spencer when he just basically badmouthed the monarch. You know, just that. I thought it was disrespectful, and my mother thought it was disrespectful, and a lot of people thought it was in poor taste to do that. And yeah, so this is a very good documentary if you're into the royal family like I am, and if you're into the royal family like I am, and you like that kind of stuff like I do, I think that you will like it. So I hope that you have a good day, night, wherever you are, and I will see you in the next video. Oh, and before I leave, I just want to say that I have a Facebook page. It is, my Facebook name is Pinky Sylveon. I don't want to use my real name because I don't want my dysfunctional family to find me. So, yeah. It's the same logo as my YouTube channel name, but it's on Facebook. It's Pinkie and then Sylveon, like it's not all together, it's spaced. So I put my first name as Pinky and my last name is Sylveon. So yeah, so check me out on Facebook. A lot of it is I don't get on there very much and talk about my life as much. I mainly get on there and just post YouTube videos like this, and I just tell other people that maybe don't watch YouTube but have a Facebook, because everybody and their mother has a Facebook, that that, hey, this is my video on YouTube. So that's mainly what you're going to see if you come to my Facebook. It's not going to be too much, today I'm eating breakfast, today I'm having this. It's not going to be much of that. It's just going to be like, hey, here's a video, this is about blah, 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 just to get you know, for more people to see my videos. That's mainly what I'm using it for. So if you want to friend me, feel free to do so, and I will connect with you, because that's what it's all about, right? Is connecting. So I hope you have a good evening, day, night, wherever you are, and I will see you in the next video. Bye, guys.